This concludes our first MaxScript Fundamentals DVD. I hope during the course of this DVD you have gained the basic skills that you need to enter the powerful world of MaxScripting. Let's have a look at what we have covered on this DVD. We opened the disk by giving a short overview of the history and evolution of programming to gain some understanding on what a scripting language actually is. Then we stepped on to look at the different ways to access the basic MaxScript functionality through the MaxScript interface and how to use the MaxScript listener window. In Chapter 3, we introduced the basic programming concept of variables and how we can use them to hold different values. We also talked about the most basic value types that we can use in MaxScript. Still staying at the basic concepts, we learned about how every entity in Max has multiple properties that define their behavior. We also looked into ways at listing and accessing these properties. In Chapter 5, we got to know how functions work, how every function returns a value as a result, and how most of the functions can be controlled through supplying parameters to it. Then I gave an overview of the MaxScript evaluation process and ways to control it by using brackets at the appropriate places. In Chapter 7, we learned how to define our own macro script so that we could step on to the main example of the DVD, the forest maker script. As we went along creating this macro script, we studied how we can place a script on a toolbar, or the way MaxScript path names work. In Chapter 9, we extended our knowledge of value types by introducing the concept of classes and property inheritance, how each class can have further specialized subclasses, and how the superclasses' properties pass on to these new subclasses. Then, at first, we made a script that created a single tree, then slowly extended it into a full-blown forest maker script, learning about such important features as the for cycle loop, or the if-then-else conditional statement in Chapter 12, or defining our own functions in Chapter 10. In Chapter 11, we learned about accessing vertex data, vertex positions of a mesh. By studying that, we actually got to know about how the .mesh property works and how the modifiers see the object in local space. From here, I hope you'll experiment with making your own scripted tools and building on those tools to make more complex examples as you gain experience. Remember to look through the examples located on this DVD, as they show some useful but relatively simple uses of MaxScript in action. In the next DVD, we'll build on the knowledge gained from this lecture and get into more detailed real-world scripts, and along the way learn new concepts such as arrays, structures, and so on. Bye for now.